And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I'm net control. If at any time during this net, should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time?
Emergency traffic at this time. For show.
And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And today we're currently featuring over 3,000 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting. A 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher level of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically. And in addition, we're running our newer number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 5 SDRs comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is a local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR, specially oriented, resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today, that all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I'd appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, with all that being said, let's open it up and see who's out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
November 4, Echo Delta X-ray.
Echo Delta X-ray, come back and give me your call again, slowly phonetically.
X-ray, come back and give me your call again, slowly phonetically.
I believe you did this, you and I connected once before. My call sign is November 4, Echo Delta X-ray.
Roger, Echo Delta X-ray, and what's the name there?
Roger, Echo Delta X-ray, and what's the name there?
Echo Delta.
Roger, Ed, and whereabouts are you located, sir? Roger, Ed, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
The QPH here is the home of Hurricane Helene, Swannanoa, North Carolina.
Roger, sir, and what radio are you running today?
Roger, sir, and what radio are you running today?
I have an ICOM 7300 with a HAL gold line microphone. I'm about, 12 inches away from the microphone. My current settings, I do have the compressor on, set at number 1 out of 10. So compression is at 1, mic gain is at 20%. Over.
Roger, Ed. Okay, are you familiar with the TBW, transmit bandwidth adjustment? We're looking for that radio, that transmitter to be in the 100 to 29 TBW transmit bandwidth, Roger?
100 to 29 TBW transmit bandwidth, Roger.
Roger, roger. Let me see. I think I'm at 3,000.
Okay, what we want is that 2900 because that gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation, Roger.
Before you're into somebody else's conversation, Roger.
So ideally that would be 100 to 2900.
So ideally that would be 100 to 2900.
Roger. Okay. I know it's in somewhere in there now. It should be the number 2 setting, which is mid. And honestly, unless I grab the book, I couldn't. I'm not sure. It looks like on my scope, it's somewhere around 2,000 or maybe 1,800, maybe.
Don, you have usually you have three choices there, and we're looking for the one that says wide 100 to 2900. Wide 100 to 2900, Roger?
2900. Wide 100 to 2900, Roger.
Okay, on the 7300, it's got narrow, mid, and wide.
Yes, sir, and we want to be on wide. Want to be on wide, Roger?
We want to be on wide. Want to be on wide, Roger.
Roger that. Okay, we're back to wide, and it looks like it's a tad bit wider, but I was under maybe it's 2400, I'm sorry.
Wide should be 100 to 2900 on the 7300.
Wide should be 100 to 2900 on the 7300.
Okay, we're good. We're ready. Don't you record and then put the recording on YouTube?
Yes, sir. That's our motif usually. Okay, so you're in the wide TBW 100 to 2900, Roger?
You're in the wide TBW 100 to 2900, Roger.
Sounds like deliberate interference to me.
Sounds like deliberate interference to me. I don't hear anybody doing it.
I don't either.
How about it, Ed? You got a copy?
How about it, Ed? You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. November 4, Echo Delta X-ray, George.
Roger, roger. So now we're moving to the compressor, and we want a 3 on that compressor. A 3 on the compressor. Roger, roger.
Compressor. A 3 on the compressor. Roger, roger.
Okay, we're at compressor number 3. I was going to give you I'm not sure how many watts I'm transmitting. It may not be very many.
Roger, and why would that be?
Roger, and why would that be?
I mean, we are catching some, I guess it's DX back in the background there, so, you know, it would be a good idea if you might pump it up there to whatever you can do.
If you might pump it up there to whatever you can do.
Well, this should be about 650 watts. George, where are you receiving me?
You're talking to me. My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger.
You're talking to me. My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger.
7190.
I'm sorry, we might have doubled. My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger.
I'm sorry, we might have doubled. My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger.
Okay, Jim.
And why don't you tell me about your antenna system for about 10 or 15 seconds so I can look around to see if I can find a better path for us, Roger?
So I can look around to see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Very good. The antenna is inverted of the where the feed line connects is about 40 feet up, and each arm angles down, and I would say they are about 10 feet in the air on the inverted V.
Roger, Ed. Okay, got you on my local antenna at about 20 over. So we got a really good signal on you. So let's go to your ALC adjustment with mic gain in hand. And as you say the word audio, stretch out the front of that word audio and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Roger?
Mic gain at 2/3. Okay. I'm looking ALC. I'm actually probably more at 70 or banging 80% on the ALC.
Okay, ALC meter is the short meter running alongside the above or below the other meters. It only runs halfway of the other meters, and we want to be just to the right of halfway on the ALC meter as you adjust your mic gain and by saying audio.
Okay, as you said, the ALC meter is, in fact, only half the length of the other meters. So, based on the fact that it's the little red line, which is your meter for ALC, I'm actually tapping 100%. Oh, wait a minute, it'll go up. Hold on. Mic gain. Hello, 1, 2, 3. That's about 50% mic gain right there.
Okay, Ed, I want you to be closer to mic than that. I want you to be about 6 inches off that mic. And I'm assuming that mic is a desk mic. Is that a Roger?
I'm sorry, Jim. It is a Howe Gold Line.
Yes, sir. Is that a hand mic, desk mic, or what is that?
Oh, no, the Howe Gold Line is on a boom, and right now it's about 6 inches in front of my mouth.
Yes, sir. Okay, pull your mic gain down. Be looking at your ALC and pull your mic gain down to about 40, and let's listen to you.
Okay, that's 40%, and it is driving the ALC meter. It is peaking. It's 100% of the available display on ALC.
Okay, so drop it to 35. Drop your mic gain to 35.
Roger. Okay, that's 35, and I am in fact picking up QRM from up the band. I see it on the waterfall now.
Yes, sir. Okay, now to your stand by just a minute.
Repeat.
Roger, I just had something to take care of. Go to your equalizer now. Do you know how to get to your equalizer?
It'll take me a minute. If I can tell you, it's probably bass at 100%, and treble is probably way up.
Roger, Roger. All right, so why don't you go to your multi-button on the 7300? That's the round button at the upper right side of the display window.
Roger.
That takes you to RF power out, sets you to mic gain, sets you to compression, sets the monitor, which we want to be off, and the menu button, that's the regular button at the lower left side of the display, takes you to set, which takes you to tone control, which takes you to transmit, which takes you to single sideband, and transmit EQ settings. We want that treble maxed out. That's and then the bass -1. Bass -1, treble maxed out. Roger?
Roger, roger, Jimbo. There you go. That's -1 on the bass and +5 on the treble.
Okay, on the treble, come back 1 to a +4. Come back 1 to a +4 on the treble. Roger?
Okay, that is a +4, and this is November 4, Echo Delta X-ray.
Roger, roger. This is KC9VKV, and what I want you to do is leave your ALC meter out so you can look at it, and try to keep your voice in the sweet spot, which is 2/3 on your ALC meter, and leave it out for like a couple of weeks, so you can work a relationship between that and your voice, and you got to have something to do when you're talking to your good friends. So just leave that ALC meter out and concentrate on keeping that ALC meter in the sweet spot with your voice. Roger?
Roger, roger. I'm watching as I receive your voice, and it is much more center-oriented. Right now I'm seeing very large differences in the wavelength, both up and down, on my audio scope, the green display on the right.
Roger, I'm trying to give you a very intelligible signal. There's a lot of things that can happen to our transmissions along the way, phase inversions. Mother Nature bends part of the signal back at a different time and space, and when they come back, they may be out of phase relationship and into 180 degrees out of phase, and they'll start to cancel each other, and it always starts from the top end, works its way down, and when you lose all your top end, if you've got a bunch of bottom, then you become Mr. Bassman. So for that reason, I don't put a lot of bass in the bottom side, just looking for the intelligibility on the top side, and put just a little bit more of the top than what you would imagine, just because of those adverse conditions that you might run into. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I've goofed around here, and I've hit the level button while I've got the audio scope up, and it has changed the display. It says level -20 dB.
Roger. Well, we set the ALC level. Why don't you go back and set your ALC level again? We have made some changes in the equalize situation. So anytime you make changes, when you change microphones, you should go back and recheck your ALC level. And when you re-EQ, you should go back and check your ALC level, because those things will affect the level of your ALC. So back to the ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, don't push it. Just say it like you would say any other word, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC is reading 2/3.
Audio.
All right, now you might have been stressing the word a little bit. I was listening to you, so be just a little bit, don't say it any different than what you would say in a normal QSO, the word audio, except you're going to stretch the word out at the top front of the word audio to adjust your ALC.
Audio. Well, that's a 10% mic gain right there, but it's running in anywhere, say, from 25 to 30%.
Okay, mic gain is what?
At 10% on the setting.
Okay, take the mic gain on up to 30.
I've got it at 20 right now. That had been my home setting, was 20%. and it is on the ALC back to, it's driving, I would say it's driving it now more like 50% or more.
Roger. So go to 30% and let me listen to you.
Okay, that's 30% right there. I am not I'm not seeing it set off the red yet, but that should be more like 70% of the meter.
Yes, sir. I would run it just like that. That's perfect. I can see your the hang of your audio on my VU meter, and it looks like it's about 3 dB of dynamic range, which is exactly what we're looking for. And that being the case, your average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%. Roger.
All righty. I see that. I was trying to see if I'm picking up any background noise. Are you, by chance, Jim, are you hearing anything in the background?
No, it's perfectly clean to me. I heard you earlier, but it's clean at this setting. And I would take maybe that bass back to flat, +1 from where it is back to flat. Roger?
I'm headed that way. If I key up, it erases. So give me just a second on the bass, okay?
Roger, Roger. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. And we're right now working with Ed over in North Carolina on the 7300.
Okay. I have that open, and I went to +1 on the bass. I'm at +4 on the treble. I'm wide mode between 200 and 2900, and I wanted to check. I also noticed transmit on the band. When you go to set this audio up, there's a SSB, and then there's SSB-D, like Delta. Is that something digital?
Yeah, we want to be just in that SSB, that single sideband, and that's where we are right now and where you need to be for transmitting on this band. Roger?
Roger, Roger. What is the D? I guess I've never noticed that before.
It's digital, I guess. Occasionally I found myself in that USB, USB-D, and I've had to negotiate my way out of that because I'm not really sure. I've never used that. Roger?
Roger. Okay. Well, I think that should be. You think this sounds pretty good? Now, I'm not raising my voice or anything.
Yeah, it sounds perfect. Sounds perfect. Just remember your proximity to microphone and keep that just like you are right now. Roger?
Will do. It is set. I won't mess with it.
Roger. I mean your position to the microphone. Don't come in closer to the microphone or get further away. Stay right where you are as far as your distance to the microphone. Roger.
Affirmative. This is November 4, Echo Delta X-ray, and normally, Jim, you're pushing a little over 20 over here into the Swannanoa Valley.
Roger that. Roger that. Thank you, sir. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Yes, sir. You helped me do this probably 5 years ago. I was in South Carolina at the time. But yeah, you really helped me.
Yes, sir. Well, what do you think about North Carolina versus South Carolina?
This is my home. I was born in Asheville. I don't know if you're familiar, but I'm about 10 miles east of, maybe 12 miles east of downtown Asheville, North Carolina, and unfortunately not far above the river, the Shenandoah River. We were just devastated by Hurricane Helene and lost many lives. There was a lot of landslide that occurred here on the steeper mountains, and a number of homes were destroyed either in landslides or literally just being flooded away.
Roger that. Yeah, I've heard that, and that's a real hilly area, and gosh, you're either at the top or at the bottom, and when it rains hard, boy, it's real tough down at the bottom because everything runs in pools. I, as a kid, ran across, I was kind of driving in the backwoods there, and I came to a cliff, kind of an overhang there, overlook, and I could see a valley down in front of me, and I could see it about 30 feet up around this valley. I could see a water line, so that water became 30 foot deep in that area. Roger?
Yes, sir. That occurred here. However, that depth of 25 feet, 30 feet occurred in a small area downtown Asheville. As far as I know, I shouldn't speak for some of the smaller valley communities, but here in Shenandoah, many places the river was almost a mile wide and probably 10 or 12, maybe 15 feet deep in a wide area, whereas it got slotted down through a tight valley, and it achieved 30, 35 feet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, not to change the subject or nothing, but do you do any 2 meter 440 stuff up in that area?
Yes, sir. I worked the disaster. I was one of the main points of contact, actually the only contact in Shenandoah for a number of days on utilizing the Mount Mitchell, which is at, 6,600 feet. That's the highest point on the East Coast. So I was on the 145-190 repeater.
Yes, sir. And Mount Mitchell is just a beautiful repeater. I've worked that repeater from here, which is about 400 some odd miles away. I've worked that repeater about 8 times, Roger. I talked to the gentleman that actually put that repeater on the air before he passed, Roger.
Yes, sir. I've got a photo. The new owner of that repeater, I think, is K4NY or N4. I've got his, N4GE, I believe.
Yes, sir. Well, this would have been the gentleman that passed the repeater onto him, the original man that put that on the air. I forget what his name was now, but I called him, when I talked to him, I called him the Elvis of repeaters, because it was just first class all the way, Roger. 6,600 feet. You're gonna cover some distance, and I think his was about 6 states wide, Roger.
Yeah, depending on conditions. This is N4EDX with Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. I'm at 2,300 feet above sea level. However, I'm in the valley, and if you continue up my road, it will elevate all the way to the top. Here, it's called Bee Tree, like a bumblebee. Bee Tree Road, and there's a water reservoir for Asheville up there, and I believe it's at about 46 or 4,800 feet above sea level. So imagine a coffee cup, and I'm transmitting from the bottom of the coffee cup.
Yeah, roger that. Roger that, Ed. Why don't you pull your mic gain back just a little bit, maybe 2 clicks back from where it is. Just 2 clicks back, not much, just 2 clicks back from where it is.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of leaning into it. The other thing, when we rag chew on 3915, 75 meters, when we're rag chewing, the guys do not like the compressor on.
Roger, I don't think anybody would be able to hear a 3 on a 7300. It's so light. I don't think that's why we chose it, because it's almost imperceptible to hear a 3 setting on the 7300 compression.
Roger. Well, the setting compression of number 1 has not roused any suspicion.
Roger. I don't think you'll be able to hear a 3. Now, if you get to the thing is, see, a 6 and a 3 are the same, except the 6 has suck up between words. And as far as actually working on the word, a 3 will do just as much work on the word as a 6, but the 3 does not have suck up between the words, Roger?
Roger. Now, I've backed off of my microphone. I'm now about 18 inches away, which happens when I lean back in my chair. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, then you get into a noise coming in your room. You have a noisy room, and if you work your audio back that far, you're going to have room echo. Roger, that's why I wanted you to be just where you were.
Copy that. Jim, what you're hearing is the cooling fan on a 50-year-old Dentron MLA 2500.
No, I'm hearing room noise. I'm hearing you don't have much furniture in that room, and you do have a lot of ambient echo in that room, and so you need to work back where I told you to work. Roger?
Copy that. Do you recommend sound deadening panels on the wall?
No, just closer mic, signal to noise ratio. And the closer you get to the mic, the less noise you're going to pick off your walls. But you should, when you get to a certain point, you should be running a foam filter on your microphone to keep your wind out of your voice pops and stuff. So I'd just go ahead and get me a foam windscreen. Roger?
Affirmative. I've never operated this microphone without the foam ball. Now, here, that is without the foam ball on the end. That's just an open, the stainless steel.
Roger, I don't hear much noise there, but it's still a good idea to run that foam windscreen. Then you can work that microphone, pretty much however you want, and you're not going to pick up anything other than your voice. It's going to filter out all the pops and crinkles and, stuff that you don't want to transmit.
Roger, the amplifier fan is quite noisy on this old Dentron. As a matter of fact, this is currently transmission without the fan. I'm going to reach over, which the fan just turned off. But I'm going to reach over right now and turn the fan on manually. And I don't know if you can hear it or not. I'd love to know. And now the fan is running in the background.
Roger, I would not have noticed it very much had you not said something about it. It's way down. It's probably about 15 dB below your voice level, so it's nothing that would be involved in your audio much, to speak of. But it depends on your position to the mic. Signal to noise ratio. Your voice signal versus all the detrimental things that are happening, the blower and the reflection off the walls and all that stuff is just really minimized where you were working it just earlier.
Okay, well, do you have others that would, do you have other folks waiting here on the frequency to get a chance to hear themselves on the radio?
Well, we give it a chance. I don't know. I never know what's going to happen from moment to moment, but I think we get you there, Ed, and if you get a chance, go ahead and do a search for KC9VKV logbook, and we'll have it available on the YouTube search by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Affirmative. Thank you, Jim. Jim, what's your location? Because if I remember last time, I ended up watching. Don't you televise? Wasn't it you used to televise or on the YouTube? Didn't you set up? You'd have some longer running videos.
Yes, we have a whole bunch of different stuff. We have the logbook, KC9VKV logbook, and then we have a couple of others, and then we have a bunch of broadcast stuff that we did. So we have a lot of stuff going on our homepage of Jim's radio story. So you might look that up too. I will give you a broader view of our homepage. Roger?
Yes, sir. I think I'm pretty sure you and I went through this process, and the microphone, the Heil Gold Line, is a desk mic. And it's funny, I was so used to operating with a boom and a foot pedal that I think at the time when I purchased my radio, they gave me a coupon, and I bought the ICOM desk mic, and since I had never used it, I just took it to a ham fest and sold it for a fair price. But the original purchase of this Gold Line was to operate the older, much older, Kenwood TS-940, which I operated for about 25 years.
Roger that. All right, Ed, I think we got you there, sir. You have a good afternoon and a great weekend. Roger?
Okay, I'm going to let you go, Jim, because I bet there's others. I want to ask you, when you sign out, actually, I could be looking you up on QRZ. I wasn't sure I would that call if you are West Coast, but I'm assuming, and I'm doing a quick search. I thank you again. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Obviously wish you a very happy New Year, and want to thank you for the time you spent. And cordially, November 4 Echo Delta X-Ray, Ed in Swannanoa, North Carolina.
Roger, Ed. Yeah, we're down around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky. Roger?
I see that. Are you inside the 265 Beltway?
Yes, we are. I can see downtown Louisville from where I am. It's about 3 miles away.
All right, quick story, and I'll be done. My best friend in the Navy we went in 1980, and he was sent to the Navy by the Jeffersonville police. Apparently he ran, it wasn't his first time, and apparently ran, of course he was driving his car and crossed the bridge out of Louisville into Jeffersonville, and he was, 18, and I guess the judge had had enough and said, you're going to get punished or you can go to the Navy, and he chose the Navy.
Probably a wise choice.
Okay, Jim. Happy New Year. Thanks again. You made my day. And I'll jump online. I did bring you up on QRZ, and it's good to talk to you again, my friend. I don't know why the 9 called through me, but your voice is so familiar, and obviously you know it sounds good. And you're still 20 plus. You're a hair over 20 over 9 here. 7 3s from November 4, Echo Delta X-ray, Swannanoa.
Roger, Roger. Ed, 73, sir. Good to talk at you. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the KC9VKV Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. And I don't know if my Elmer's still in there or not. He was earlier. Elmer, are you there?
Yes, I am, standing by.
What's going on?
It's all about you, Jim. I'm enjoying the show.
Well, son of a gun, sounded mighty good. Are you on the farm?
Yes, I am. A tower of power up here, 90 feet in the air. I got the vertical, 33 1/3, on top of a 90-foot tower with the beam, the 40-element rotatable beam, and the full-wave loop. Right now I'm on the full-wave loop with the vertical.
Roger. I think that is probably the best way to get your signal to come my way. Roger?
Yes, sir. Otherwise, you know, we're only 8 miles apart, and me and you have all kinds of trouble if I don't have the vertical in there as a mixture.
Roger, unless I talk to you on PASDR.
That's true. We've done that before many, many times.
Well, and what else? You're using that 7300. Now, what other radios do you have there?
No, I'm on the Anon 8000 DLE, a 200-watt radio. This is the Anon.
That's the Anon you're talking on now?
Yes, this is the Anon, and it is a real nice rig, 200 watts output. Lori got it for me last year for my birthday. They don't make them anymore, but I love this one.
Roger that. Could be use a little more top end, just a couple of clicks more top end.
Okay, I can do that. I'm amazed at how you could tell. I really am. I'm amazed how you could tell that. But let's do this here, and let's see here. Here we go. You're asking for it, and I'm giving it to you right now. What do you think about that right there?
Yes, sir. Now, also, do you have... I gave you one time a windscreen. Did you ever figure out where that windscreen was?
No. You said you had a red one. I ordered a bag full. You know, there's 10 of them in a bag coming through Amazon. They haven't got here yet, and that's the problem. I've got a sock over it right now.
Well, it's doing pretty good. Every once in a while, I detect a plosive, but doing pretty good, Roger. Is that a new sock?
Put away, Jim. That's the problem. I got the cord not packing around on me. By the way, I'm in the, I've got a small bed in here. It's a 12 by 14 closet walk-in. I've got my radio room in here.
Roger. Now I'm getting a little mouth noise. You might want to work that mic to the side until you get your windscreen.
I just got to get away from it. I've got the mic on 10, which it goes to 100. The mic is on 10 right now.
Roger. Still a good idea to run a windscreen because you do have some mouth transients there that foam windscreen would just take care of right now.
Oh, it would. It really would. Do you still have the red one nowhere?
Well, I gave it to you, I thought.
I don't think so, but I remember us talking about it, and I thought that red would be nice. The only thing I could find was black. Now, I did order one here a while back from DX Engineering, and it came in the mail, and it looked like something you put on the end of a microphone that, you know, like a little Bluetooth things. You put it over the microphone. Oh, it wasn't as big as a dime.
Oh, yeah, a real small one. Now, we want just a, regular-sized mic windscreen, a foam windscreen.
Now, I'm talking away from the mic right now. I'm at, I got the mic, basically, I'm at, let's just say, I got the microphone, not 45, or not not 30 degrees away. I'd say like 20 degrees away from each other, and my mouth and the mic is pointing in two different directions.
Roger, Roger. You know, if you had the original hand mic to that radio, we could make that sound even better than that desk mic. Take that hand mic, plug it in, and pull it up to the side of your mouth and talk across it. That minimizes all kinds of mouth noise.
Well, here it is right here. I'm a foot away from the microphone. Is that even better right there, a foot away?
Well, you get a little peaky there. You lose your 3 dB dynamic range, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, again, it's one of those things where I need that. I ordered a bag of 10 of them. I got a feeling they're going to be in snail mail. I think they were $1.89 a piece, and then I ordered 3 of them for the RE27 as well. This one here is a Gold Line 5, and I did what you said. I've got 3 of them, and both the highs and lows are tied in together, so that they're balanced out, and there's a matching transformer in between both of them to give it a 600 ohm balance here. Over.
Yeah, roger that. Roger that. All right, sir. Sounding good. Gosh, good to talk at you. Roger, Roger.
Well, go ahead and pick up another one, Jim. I'm sitting here enjoying myself. Got a laptop in front of me, and I'm just cruising around. And boy, you're just really. When Georgia is me and you in Georgia, we're fine. I'm dominating Georgia really good. But boy, you've got the K3FEF locked down. Over.
Roger, Roger. All right, 73 for the moment, and we'll catch you a little bit later. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 4, Bravo, Uniform, Zulu.
Bravo, Uniform, Zulu. Come back and give me your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Whiskey 4, Bravo, Uniform, Zulu.
Roger, Roger, Bravo, Uniform, Zulu. What's the name?
The name is Buzz, just like in the call. Bravo, Uniform, Zulu, over.
Roger, Buzz, and what's your location?
I am in central Georgia, about 20 miles south of Macon, Georgia.
Roger, and what radio is that?
I am on the 7300.
I should have known. Really sounds good, sir. Why don't we just check a couple of things, though, make sure we're all together there. That TBW, transmit bandwidth, should be 100 to 2900.
Roger.
Is that Buzz, the king of 3933?
I'm not the king, but this is Buzz.
It's Buzz that talks the dog every night?
Roger, roger.
Oh, man, me and my wife, we're there every night loving your show. Every now and then say, hey, KD4DYO, Lori, we love you listening.
All right, will do. All right. Appreciate the wave.
All right, Jim, pick him back up.
Roger, Roger, Buzz. Yeah, just double, you're pretty sure you're in that wide TBW?
Yes, roger, roger.
All right, and then moving to compressor on at a 3, compression on at a 3, Roger?
I usually run it at 1. If I run it up to 3 with my, I'm also running compression through the W2IHY because I'm running those EQs, Jim. So I usually run it on 1. If I run it up to 3 on the radio, then I'll have too much, and it'll give me AOC spikes from the 7300. Roger.
Roger, Roger. Now, let's see here. What do you figure? I'm just looking at your signal. It looks to be about 3 dB. So the combination, you have the internal compressor off, and you're just running external compression?
I'm running 1 notch of internal in the radio, and I also run a little bit of compression from the W2IHY equalizer, the EQ Plus, over.
Roger, Roger. Now, what is the level of your internal mic gain? I'm just curious because anytime you connect an outboard mic implement to your mic input, and I'm assuming you're coming in the mic level as opposed to in the back?
Yes, I'm coming into the front of the radio, and I'm running the mic gain at 28%.
Roger, Roger. That's pretty good. If you get below that, though, you might want to turn your output of your external amp down and turn your internal mic gain up to make the difference there, so you can avoid any kind of audio overload on that first stage preamp in your radio.
Roger, Roger, QSL.
All right, so let's go to your ALC with the mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, you become a human test tone generator, and you're looking to for 2/3 on that ALC meter as you say the word audio. Roger?
Yep, I'm running about 60-65%, Roger.
Excellent. That's exactly where you should be, and I'm copying you on my local antenna, my 7300, and your audio curve just sounds beautiful, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. I'm running the 8-band equalizer into the W2IHY EQ Plus, so I have lots of EQing alternatives, so to speak, to be able to choose from. So I've been doing it for a long time. I've never checked into your show. Just basically wanted to come in and say hello, and I've listened to some of your videos through the years, so I appreciate what you're doing, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Well, I'm sitting here looking at your audio on a meter, and it's just looking wall to wall from I guess you have activity down to 50 cycles or thereabouts, maybe 30, and appropriately on the top end also, so it's well balanced and full ranged. Roger?
Yeah, QSL. Alrighty, well, I'm running the RE320. I've run the 27 for many years, but my preference is the RE320 for ham radio. The 27 is also a good choice, but I just prefer the 320. But anyway, hey, I won't hold it. Jim, just wanted to drop in and say hello, and like I said, been listening, on and off, different times, and I've watched some of your videos, and I'll let you pick up somebody else, and appreciate what you do, and keep doing what you're doing. Great job. And we'll say 73s and kick it back to you for a final. W4BUZ.
Roger, Buzz, thanks for dropping by, bud. And if you want to hear all that great audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So I think you'll love it. It's just beautiful. One of the best radios I've heard. So 73, sir, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is a KC9VKV Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
For golf?
There's somebody there. Station calling. Come back, please.
There's somebody there. Station calling. Come back, please. Whiskey Radio 4 Golf.
For golf, is that a Roger?
For golf, is that a Roger? That's a Roger. Whiskey Radio 4 Golf.
Roger. What's the name there?
Roger. What's the name there?
Okay, the handle here is Bill Bravo India Lima, and I am in New Market, Alabama. Over.
Roger. What radio are you running today?
Roger. What radio are you running today?
I'm running a Pro 3 today. I've been just moved here into an HOA, and I've been experimenting with independent antennas and not having a great deal of luck with them, but
Okay, Bill, I had a pretty good copy on you. It's kind of coming and going, but I think you're pretty hot into your ALC. But let's just review a couple of things, if you would. Mainly, the first thing is your TBC, your transmit bandwidth. We want that on wide, 100 to 2900. Wide, 100 to 2900 on your transmit bandwidth. Roger?
100 to 2900. on your transmit bandwidth, roger.
Is on wide. Hang on just a second. Okay, I just turned the comp off. Is that any better?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, do you normally run compression?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, do you normally run compression?
No, I usually don't. I really haven't done a lot setting up on this radio. I've had it a while, and everybody seems to say it sounded pretty good. The problem is I'm running the original HM36 microphone. I understand that they're not the greatest in the world, so I may switch over and try 300.
Roger that, roger that. Well, gosh, our setup usually starts with that transmit bandwidth at 100 to 2900, then moves into the compressor, and we suggest only a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just a very light amount, 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, roger?
3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, roger?
Yeah, roger that. I'd have to need to get the book out. You say you're in here on Fridays?
Friday from 3:30 till 5. Yeah, make a note of that. Maybe I'll just give you some notes and you can crank them in at your leisure. So it'll be that transmit bandwidth 100 to 2900. 100 to 2900 on the transmit bandwidth. Then to the compressor processor, we want it on and at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how it's labeled, just a third of it. 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, roger?
3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, roger?
Yeah, I'll get to where I can get into the mainly, I haven't done with it. I've just mainly, when I was in Pensacola, Florida, we just moved up here to Newmark. When I was in Pensacola, Florida, I had a much bigger station, much better antenna, and I think I was running an ICM on this thing at the time. I don't know if they're any better or not, but I really don't have room on the desk here for a desktop microphone right now, so I'm not running the ICM. Is there any info on that? Do you think they're any better over?
You're running the stock hand mic right now?
Pressure back on. You're running the stock hand mic right now?
You're fading on me.
Are you running the stock hand mic right now?
Real quick, please.
Sure, go ahead.
Are you running the stock hand mic right now?
Roger, running the stock HM36.
All right, the best way to run that mic is pull it to the side of your lips and talk across it. Actually touch the side of your lips and talk across it. Do not talk into it. You'll have a lot cleaner audio if you just pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it.
If you just pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it.
Okay, we had somebody in there wanting to make a comment over.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. If you could, did you have the compressor on, say, 70%? Go ahead. 20%. There we go. My mic's breaking up. Can you put that on 20 if it was on 80 over?
I can't copy him. Do you have it?
Yeah, I should put it on 30. If it's 30 out of 100 is the ideal place for that compressor.
30 out of 100 is the ideal place for that compressor. We just lost the band, Jim.
How about you, Bill? You still got a copy?
How about you, Bill? You still got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do. I was trying to catch the other gentleman that was trying to get in, but he's real weak, very, very right at the noise level.
Okay, so let's move now to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, you become a human test tone generator and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first.
7 or 2/3, whichever comes first.
Okay, there we go. Audio, yeah, it's running, let's see, ALC, it's running right at the top of the red.
Okay, so you just want to run that at 2/3, which is just to the right of half, Roger, just to the right of half?
Which is just to the right of half, Roger, just to the right of half.
Okay, let me bring it down a little bit here. All right. There we go. It's at right at about 2/3.
Okay, and what level is your microphone? Let me rephrase that. So you've got your hand mic actually pulled to the corner of your lips and touching the corner of your lips and talking across it?
The corner of your lips and touching the corner of your lips and talking across it.
That's a Roger.
Okay, and what's your mic level?
Okay, and what's your mic level?
Let me see. Are you talking about like the knob, what where's that?
Yeah, it should be numbered, 1 to 10 or 1 to 100.
Numbered, 1 to 10 or 1 to 100.
I'd say it's probably at about, from 1 to 10, about a 5, 4 or 5.
All right, then move that up to a 6. Move it up to a 6. I'm trying to get you a 3 dB dynamic range. So give me a 6 on your mic level control. That's 6. 6 out of 10. Is that a Roger?
Control, that's 6. 6 out of 10. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger. There we go. How's that, over?
Yes, sir. That looks pretty good. Now, why don't you tell me about your antenna system in about 10 or 15 seconds, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Okay, well, the antenna, it's an Ultimax infit at 66 feet, but I've been having fits with it. I can't get it to come into a decent SWR anywhere except for like when I get my antenna analyzer, and it'll come down to 1-to-1 SWR at 8800, 8.8, and at 420 meters is just way off. I can't get it to do anything, over.
Roger. Gosh, well, I'll tell you the way. Is it a dipole antenna or just a long wire?
Gosh, well, I'll tell you the way. Is it a dipole antenna or just a long wire?
It's an end-fed long wire, over.
Roger. Now, see, in my case, I'm running a dipole, a tuned dipole, and the way that I tune that is it's a unbalanced tuned dipole, and so the high side I bring it on frequency, and on the low side, the ground side, I'm adjusting that for lowest SWR. And what I do is I use, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's called a split bolt right at the end of the antenna, and I have about a foot of wire hanging down vertically off my horizontal antenna, and I use that to trim with. I either bend it up or wrap it up, or but I can tune with that. I don't have to cut the antenna at all. I just tune with that piece of wire. So on the high side, I'm bringing it back on frequency, and on the low side, I'm adjusting my SWR, and I keep on doing that until you just walk it right down, Roger?
And I keep on doing that until you just walk it right down, Roger?
Yeah, Roger. A dipole would be great. I have no room for a dipole here. In fact, if they caught me with this long wire out, they'd probably make me take it down. So I'm starting to look into the idea of maybe a rain gutter antenna, over.
Roger. Now, what is the gauge of wire that you're using on your antenna?
What is the gauge of wire that you're using on your antenna?
It's 14 gauge.
Roger. Well, all I can say is the smaller the diameter, the higher the Q, and the higher the Q, the higher the gain. So with that smaller wire, you are running a higher gain situation than what you would if you had a larger cable for your antenna. So look at it that way, Roger.
A larger cable for your antenna. So look at it that way, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that.
Like I say, I'm about ready to do away with this head-fed antenna. I know a lot of people have great luck with them, but I've been a ham operator for 50 years and built I don't know how many antennas and everything, and I just cannot get this one to do as advertised. Over.
Roger that. Well, Bill, gosh, I wish you luck. Don't give up. Maybe tune some more on it. Maybe you'll find out what it is that's causing the problems. It should be able to be fairly linear as you walk it down. Increase or decrease the length of it. It should show a natural progression on down as far as frequency and SWR. Roger.
On down as far as frequency and SWR, Roger? Yeah, roger that. Like I say, I'm going to play with it a little bit more, but I'm starting to look at different options here. I just missed my 50-foot tower with my dipole and my beam and everything that we had in Pensacola. But I knew when I was coming up here that getting into the HOA I was going to have problems. But if nothing else, it gives me something to do trying to designing get an antenna. Jim, I appreciate your help and your advice on setting this thing up. And I'll say 7-3s to you, and maybe get back in here next Friday, and we can see how we're doing with the antenna, and I'll get some more settings done on the radio. So at this point, I'll just say 7-3s, and hopefully I'll catch you next week. Whiskey Radio 4 Golf.
Roger, Bill, 73, sir. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So 73, Bill, we'll catch you later. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KC9VKV, I think it is. WB4JPT.
Is that KPT?
Juliet Papa Tango. WB4 Juliet Papa Tango.
Roger. What's the name there?
Name here, David. We're located in Tennessee, East Tennessee, a little place called Parrotsville. We're in the foothills of Smokies.
Roger, sounding pretty good there. What radio is that?
That's a Yaesu FT450.
Roger. So tell me about your antenna system for about 10 seconds, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us.
All right, I'm just
better path for us.
All right, I'm just running a sample dial. It's only about 20 east to west, so I'm not sure that I'm probably pointed towards you.
Roger, I've got you on my local antenna. You look to be about 15 over, Roger.
You're running about 40 over 9 here.
Roger. So if you'd be interested in a setup, first thing is that a newer radio or an older radio?
It's an older one. I bought it used from a good friend of mine that I've known for years.
Roger that. So you have a set transmit bandwidth. You do not have an adjustable transmit bandwidth. Is that a Roger?
I don't think so. I'll have to get the manual. I've been listening for a while, and I'll have to get the manual and look to see, but I'm not really sure. Right now I've got the mic equalization set to flat, and right now.
Wow, you're sounding really good for flat, but let me give you a note on that transmit bandwidth. Ideally, you would want to be in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. That would give you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. But if that's an older radio, you might have a 200 to 2700 or a 300 to 2500 or something. But we want it in the best transmit bandwidth that we can muster. Roger.
Roger that. I'm not sure the setting. While I was listening, I was running through the settings, and I didn't see I didn't see a setting for bandwidth.
Roger, roger. Okay, and is that a hand mic or a desk mic?
This is a hand mic.
Okay, best way to work that hand mic is pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it, Roger.
Okay, is that better?
Oh yeah, it minimizes all kinds of mouth noise, Roger.
You're really sounding good. You're booming here. Really, what's your 20?
We're down around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the mighty Ohio River, right at Louisville, Roger.
That's pretty good for done pretty good for 40 meters. It'll probably pick up a little bit when it gets dark.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, so then we'll move to our compressor, and we want a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Just a little bit out of that compressor. 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, Roger?
Okay, I got it. I'm writing all this down, so I'll get the manual and look it all up and try to see if there is a setting for that.
Oh, Roger. Well, and then there is a setting. I don't know, offhand whether it's 0 to 10 or 0 to 100, but whatever it is, we just want a third of it. So it'd be a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Then into your ALC meter, and with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, elongate the first part of that word. Don't stress it, just say it like you would say any other word in the QSO, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Your ALC meter is the Bible for that radio, so you would be looking at your ALC meter as you key and say the word audio, elongate the first of that, and you become a human test tone generator, and adjust your mic gain then for 2/3 on your ALC meter.
Okay, I've got that wrote down. Right now, I'm showing power on my meter, and I'm picking up about 80 watts out of 100 right now.
Roger, Roger. But your ALC meter is the real Bible to that radio, and you want to stay within at 2/3 mark on your ALC meter, Roger.
Okay, let me see if I can get the meter on the ALC. Audio. It's coming up about 2/3.
Yes, sir. It looks to be that way. And at 2/3, that'll be a 3 dB dynamic range. So then your average percent of peak modulation is 80 to 85%. That's the average peak modulation, which is real good, Roger.
So you think maybe I've got close, set pretty close?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would. Carry forth with those notes when you can at your leisure. That's the beautiful thing about taking notes. You don't have to knock yourself out. Just when you're in the mood to go looking in the book, there's some stuff for you to check out, Roger.
All right, I sure will. I appreciate all the help, and I'm just going to back out here and listen and might learn some more.
Roger, David. Well, gosh, we're about to the end of our rope here at the moment for this Friday, but we'll be back, God willing, next Friday at 3:30 till 5. So 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you manage to participate and would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. And with all of that being said, we're going to be returning the frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, clear.